Yo, what's up, everybody? Hey, I wanted to show you something really cool. Something I thought was really cool. I don't know if you'll think it's cool, but it's pretty rare, and I figured this is weird. I normally wouldn't show you a book that I got, but I feel like there's not really an easy way for you to see any of this anywhere online, and it's hard to find even to buy if you live in the United States. So I just wanted to show you real quick. I got this book that is basically, I know this seems pretty random, but it's, if anybody out there can read Japanese, by the way, let me know what this all says. But what it is basically is Toei Super Sentai Creature Design from 1975. Well, it says 1977, but the book goes to 1995. And what it is it's the concept art for every single monster of the day from Super Sentai, which, if you don't know, it's basically Power Rangers in Japan. It's a little bit more of a mature show than, as mature as you can get for rubber monsters. But it's a little bit more mature of a show, than Power Rangers, obviously. But the Japanese show that it comes from. It's been going on since 1975, which a lot of people don't know. They think it started in the 90s like Rangers did here, but it started in 1975 in Japan. They're in their 30, it's been, 37 years now? That doesn't add up. Does it? No, 38. Anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, but this book is the concept art from every single monster from 75 to 95. And it's pretty incredible. And I just thought I would show a few cool things real quick. First of all, you read it it's like manga, I guess. You read it the other way. This ain't no manga, though. Anyway, you basically get to see monster designs dating all the way back to the first one, which was Go Ranger. And they start out... Basically, the reason I thought this book was cool, and it's not just like, I'm such a fan. I am, but, like, I used to, when I was in class, like, draw out monsters. I would just draw. I was never good at drawing people or buildings or anything like that, but I was really good at just random monsters that had some kind of affliction, like, yeah, exactly like this, like a mummy guy with a hat, or raptor guy with a claw for a hand. And the sketches really weren't too much unlike this. So I thought this was really, really... It spoke to me in that way. I get inspired when I look at stuff like this, and I know that sounds really odd. First of all, I'm a sucker for art books in general, just of my favorite stuff, whether it be movies or games or whatever. But the fact that they had one just on these random monsters was really cool. See, stuff like this with a bunch of faces on it. This is the kind of stuff I would draw just to be creative, and like I said, stuff like this inspires me because to me, it's just kind of a way for random thoughts and sometimes things you're not really aware you're thinking of to come out in a physical form. Does that make sense? I know I'm really overdoing it for something so goofy. By the way, look at this monster. You're going to hear from H.R. Giger's lawyers, right? They're coming. 30 years ago they're coming, but they're coming. Anyway, so that's really cool. I really like, actually, I don't know what series this is. If anybody out there could read that. But apparently that's the main villainess. But anyway, the monsters in this particular series were all half something, and I thought that was really cool. Mostly, it looks like half aquatic. Oh, but this one's great. I think that's half coral, half burger. Now tell me that's not the best monster design you've ever seen. Come on. Anyway, yeah. I all the monsters in this one are really cool. I wish I knew what this series was. I actually don't. I haven't really seen a lot of the old Sentai series. Although recently I just finished Zyuranger. And despite watching it kind of facetiously, there were actually a couple episodes that were legitimately well directed and stuff, I thought. You know, it happens. But anyway, stuff like this, I don't know, just really draws something out of me for some reason. Pay no attention to the droning in the background. I'm playing the new Devil May Cry game, which I really like, by the way. Anyway, again, just all kind of half stuff. It reminds me of Willy Wonka's office. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so then you got, I don't, what the hell? What was this from? I don't even know what they're trying to get at here. Anyway, pretty cool stuff. There's a couple in particular that I thought were neat. But yeah, it's so easy to write off stuff like this, you know, in kind of a stupid show, whether it be Power Rangers or, you know, or the original Japanese show. It's easy to write off that there's one of these goofy rubber monsters every single week. You know what I mean? So it's easy to just go, oh, they're fighting another monster. Heh. But you really got to think about, like, who sits and designs these, you know? And I can't decide if that would be really frustrating or really fun. But there's just really, you see creativity in a way that it's not hindered by anything else, you know? For better or for worse. There was a couple from one series in particular that I thought was so funny. Let me see if I can find it. It's pretty cool. Let me see. Oh, yeah. They were just there. Sorry, I know this is not, like, super entertaining. But there were a couple that I was cracking. Yeah, there they are. There's this dude, like, shredding a guitar. Like, who the hell is this guy? What series is this from? If anybody out there knows, let me know. But this futuristic dude with a lot of laces shredding a guitar. I mean, like I said, this is the kind of stuff I would just draw. Just to let my mind, you know, escape. Or just leak out whatever excess creativity I wasn't spending on something useful. Okay, sorry about that. My phone just cut the video right in the middle of me talking. But anyway, oh my god. Anyway, moral of the story is I thought this was a really cool book. There's another book, too, that goes from 95 to 2012, and I might pick that up because this was pretty, wow, interesting. What I think is cool is that once you start getting towards the back, it starts looking familiar. Like, this is what Power Rangers adapted and, you know, all that stuff. But anyway, really cool. I think that you could tell the inspiration by some. Some are really like Japanese folklore, you know. Some are just a lot of animals. This is when Power Rangers get their ass kicked by Frankenstein, and he turns into that, and then he turns into that. But anyway, that was one of the best designs ever. Was Dora Talos was the Japanese name, but Cyclopsis in America. It was like a mecha that Bandora created. Now this was Die Ranger, and the soldiers were awesome. That's a great design. That's just creepy. But the rest I remember not really liking because I felt like it was just a lot of stuff with one eye. And that wasn't really that creative to me. You know what I mean? Like, what a purse with one eye wasn't really that great. But then when you get to this... Now, that was a cool monster. But when you get to this next series, Kaku Ranger, this was based... Die Ranger was a lot of Chinese stuff, lore and stuff. And Kaku Ranger was Japanese. Like, it was... Kappa, it was all kinds of yokai stuff. He's got Go to Hell on his helmet. This guy's badass. It was just really wild designs. Just really great stuff. And I remember this season had probably some of my favorite monster designs they ever had. This guy's got game controllers on his feet, in case you didn't notice that. There's like Kappa looking thing. What the hell is that? But anyway, yeah, these are just great. Anyway, I just thought that was a really cool little book. Let me know if you think I should get the next one or what. If you're interested in taking a look at that. Anyway, I thought that was neat. This thing is going for a ton on eBay and stuff because it's hard to get. But I found some Japanese site that it was like really not hard to order to America, and it didn't cost that much. So think smarter, not harder. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, I just thought that was a cool little book. you know, if you're ever in need of creativity or you need to get something out there or you want to let your, let your mind flow, draw a monster. That's all I got to say. I'm not even being facetious. Really do it. Put pen to paper and draw a monster. That's it. Really. I can't recommend it enough. I've come up with a lot of ideas for other stuff just by sitting and drawing a monster, and I'm really not kidding. So do that. Anyway, nothing funny about it. Just being real. Anyway, see you later. Goodbye.